Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer. Big card of racing, obviously, at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, featuring the Pegasus World Cup. We're going to kick off the 50-cent late pick 4 on Saturday, however, with race number 9, the Grade 3 Hurricane Bertie Stakes. And our stakes previews are brought to you by DRF Bets. $200 free bet, no deposit required. DRF.com/join is where you need to go. Promo code FREEBET. 09 gives you access. Let's take a look at this field of fillies and mares traveling 7 furlongs on the main track to kick off the late pick 4. The 7, Curlin's Approval, 2-1 on the morning line. This horse won the Hurricane Bertie last year off of a second place finish in the Grade 3 Rampart as the favorite, and she will start favored in this year's Hurricane Bertie off a runner-up effort in the Grade 3 Rampart as a beaten favorite. She was beaten by a good one, the returning Lewis Bay.
Yeah, she certainly was. I don't have any real problem with the race she ran last time. She was just second best in that race to Lewis Bay. Yeah, listen, how do you argue with her as the horse to beat? She's just run several races that are going to make her really tough in here, and it really does, sort of feel like, yeah, she'll go a mile. Maybe she'll go a mile and a 16th. This is more her speed. These 7 furlong races, they really suit her really, really well. I thought, in a lot of ways, the Hurricane Bertie win from her last year, maybe the best race she ran all year long. She ran really well in that spot. I just don't have any real knocks on her except for the fact that, she's going to be a short price in here, and I'm just not terrified of her as a heavy favorite.
But a must-use in the second leg
100%.
of the 50-cent pick 5, and in the first leg of this 50-cent pick 4. Todd Pletcher's got a couple in here. Let's begin with the lightly raced number 8, Spice Lady. She has won 2 of her 3 lifetime starts, and she came back firing off of a long layoff last time out at Gulfstream at the 7 furlong distance. But boy, she got a candy trip on the lead against inferior horses. She's 5-1 on the line. That's light for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't be taking her at that price. Even with that being said, though, she's a really lightly raced, well-bred horse for Pletcher. There are ways to look at her and just think, listen, she's going to, if she takes another step forward in this race, she could be there. But man, what a soft trip she had last time when she won, just getting loose on the lead, no challenges, no closers anywhere in that race, and she really took advantage. And then her career debut last February, pretty good performance. I'm not going to be surprised she turns out to be good. I just don't want her at that kind of a price in this race.
Pletcher has the more accomplished number 10, Nona Mella, a graded stakes winner as a 2-year-old. She doesn't race very often, but she usually shows up with an honest performance. She finished behind Curlin's Approval last time out. It is her second start of the form cycle for a filly that rarely strings 2 races together. But what makes you think, after watching the Rampart, that she could turn the tables on the favorite?
Yeah, I didn't think that. And listen, I'm just one of those guys. I've never really been a big fan of hers. I've never been a big believer in her, even though she just keeps showing up and running, I guess, decent races. I did think her prior race in the slop last September was a pretty good performance where she was second. I'm just not that big a fan. If I was going to take one of the Pletchers, I would take the other one. But I don't know how much I want either one of them at the prices they are on the morning line.
Let's see what the Timeform U.S. Pace Projector has in store for this year's Hurricane Bertie. We've got a very fast Southern California entrant from the rail expected to make the lead. That's the number 1, Marley's Freedom. And Marley's Freedom kind of came from nowhere to run a big race last time out in the La Brea. Just look at the horses she was in against. Unique Bella, Paradise Woods, and Mopetism. And she tried her hardest in her first race at 7 furlongs. I thought that was a legitimately good effort.
Yeah.
If she can get the lead in here, she'll be dangerous. Are you worried about the 7?
I'm a little worried about the 7. I guess in some ways I'm more worried about the rail. She really has to break and come out of there running. But I think if she can catch a good break in this race, this is a pretty good spot for her. It's funny when you go back and watch the break. First of all, each of her first 3 starts for Bob Hess, once they made the trainer change, I thought they were all really good performances, including one from off the pace. But I still, like her a little bit better when they show her speed. When you go back and look at the La Brea, I mean, there was never really a point where you felt like she was going to win that race. And when you watch her through the turn, you sort of almost felt like, wow, she might finish last. And like she was really struggling to keep up. I give her a lot of credit for the try she showed through the stretch. She would not stop trying. She was only beaten a couple lengths in there. I thought that was a really nice performance. And if she can run that well here, I just think it's a much better spot for her.
The 3, Rich Mommy, the 6, Bodacious Babe, just ran 1-2 in the Grade 3 Sugar Swirl Stakes at Gulfstream on December the 16th. Rich Mommy is bringing a 3-race win streak to the Hurricane Bertie. Not bad for a filly that was once claimed for $25,000. Is she good enough for these horses?
I mean, I don't think that she is. is, although, you know, you want to take another shot in a grade 6. I mean, she just won one. They've gotten her, obviously, in pretty good form. She pulled off a little bit of an upset last time. It wasn't a field nearly as strong as this one, however, and she's going to have to run better than that if she's going to go back-to-back.
Bodacious Babe was 4th behind Curlin's Approval in this race last year, going 2nd off the layoff following a good performance. Her Sugar Swirl, where she was beaten by Rich Mommy, she moved early. It was her first start off a long layoff. I wouldn't be surprised if this horse has a forward move, but after 16 starts, the best buyer is an 86. She better move forward.
Yeah, she's a little light on figures. That's the real drawback for her, but she's one of those hard-hitting mares. She shows up and she runs every time. I would bet her before I bet Rich Mommy out of that last one, because I just think she might be a little bit better. And as you say, she moved a little bit early in that race off the layoff, but it still feels like, I mean, she needs a career best to win this.
If the 11 Moonlit Promise can step on dirt, and her pedigree indicates she should be at least okay on the surface, she's a big factor in this race. Her entire career has been spanned with Tapeta races or polytrack races at Woodbine. That's where she is based, but she's pretty good. She's won her last 3 races. I think she's lightly raced enough that there's at least another forward move coming, and she's got a versatile running style. I really liked how she came from off the pace in her seasonal debut with Sweetbriar 2 3-back.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. She went 3 for 3 last year. They concentrated on sprinting. I think that's the real key for her. I think she wants to sprint. You know, she's just a total unknown on the main track. Will she transfer it over? Josie Carroll got that horse in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint to transfer over to dirt. So you know that Josie can do it. She brings the right horses for it. She's a real wild card in here, but the kind of wild card that I want to be using if she's around that 10 to 1, because I think she's good enough.
Jordan's Henny, I think, has some upset potential, although she's a little bit slow on figures. She ran really well at Gulfstream Park last year. 2nd in the Devona Dale, 3rd in the Gulfstream Park Oaks. We got a positive formulator fact for her trainer, Michael Tomlinson, 42% over the past 4 years with older dirt sprinters off a moderate-sized layoff. She was 3rd in a stakes race last time out that featured Farrell, who finished 5th. That horse came back to win the Chalukia graded race at Churchill with an 85 and the Pippin at Oaklawn to kick off her 4-year-old campaign with an 87. I think this horse could at least liven up your single race exotics underneath.
Yeah, I'm not averse to that idea either. She's actually run pretty well around 1 turn too. When you sort of pick apart her PPs and get to the 1 turn races, she really handles that very well. She's a little slow on the way in. She's going to have to find a way to run the fastest race of her life, but I'm not so sure she can't do it at 20 to 1.
Trainer Tomlinson also has the 4 Charan, and all she's done is win 3 of her last 4 races, and the only loss came in that span came over a sloppy track. She's versatile. She's lightly raced. She ran a fig in her 2nd lifetime start of an 87 that she can build on. Why am I not more interested?
Yeah, I guess you just want to see her run a little bit faster, I suppose. But, you know, if you take that sloppy track race at Keeneland out from last October, I mean, what has she done wrong? She can really run this horse. A little slow on the way in, a lot like that Pletcher or Spice Lady. She just got handed a loose lead last time and made that field pay. On the other hand, she's 15 to 1 on the morning line, and Spice Lady's 5 to 1. I'll be using this one and not the other one.
Curlin's Approval's older half-sister, the 5 Apology Not Accepted, will make her first start for trainer Brendan Walsh. She just got cooked in the 3-horse Chuvy last time, and that was a fast pace for a 3-horse field going a mile and an eighth. Her prior race, the Fleur de Lis, was okay. I think a mile and an eighth is a little far for this mare. I think she's more of a miler type, but now she's got to go 7 off of a long layoff. I think she's sneaky fast, though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Not sure how much of a sprinter she really is, but she does have some speed. She's run an occasional fast race. I had a tough time falling for her, but I won't be surprised if she runs well.
Money or Love looks like a bit of a long shot here. This is going to be start number 26. She might be the kind of mare that needs a pace meltdown.
Yeah, she was pretty tough to make a case for in a wide open kind of race.
And Magali for Pat Biancone won an off-the-turf race last time out, going 7 furlongs in very slow time.
Yeah, just another horse who she really has to run the race of her life to win here.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Hurricane Bertie Stakes. You like Marley's Freedom, and I know you like this morning line of 10 to 1. I'm not sure you're going to get it coming out of a Grade 1 race featuring Unique Bella, but this horse, where do you think she fits from a value standpoint?
Yeah, 10 to 1 feels like a little bit high for her on the morning line. I guess I would take half that price, though. I think she fits really well in this field. And again, not that I'm, way against Curlin's Approval here. I think she's the horse to beat. I'm just not that terrified to bet against that horse.
I agree. Curlin's Approval is my top pick. I think she gets through this, but I'm not so in love with her at a relatively short price that I want a single or really even press in the pick 4. I want to use your horse as well, the 1 Marley's Freedom. And I think I want to use the 11 Moonlit Promise for Josie Carroll. Nona Mella for me, I think I will relegate to the bottom of single race exotics. Your top picks are 1, 7, 11, 4. Mine are 7, 1, 10, 11 in the Grade 3 Hurricane Bertie. And just a reminder, if you're playing this great card, head on over to drf.com/join. Sign up to DRF Bets by using the promo code FREEBET09, and poof, a $200 free bet, no deposit required, is yours. We'll kick off the 50-cent Lake Pick 4 on Pegasus Saturday in the Grade 3 Hurricane Bertie, and it has an approximate post time of 3:38 Eastern. Good luck.